the Kings County Tools Tomahawk hatchet. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Wes, Halloween Dave. We are Midgard Axe, and today I brought you something kind of weird, kind of funky, kind of cool. It's the Kings County Tools Tomahawk hatchet. And to be completely honest with you guys, the only reason why I bought this is because of the way it looked, and that bit sticks out real far. So when I saw this thing online, I looked at it, saw the straight handle, saw the bit, and just thought, man, that thing is kind of wicked, kind of cool looking. So I decided to order it. I got it in, kind of took it out of the box here, and was just messing with it for a little bit. Man, this thing is funky. What a funky axe. I've read reviews online, and it's got mixed reviews, okay? There's some people that love this thing, and there's some people that hate this thing. So it's kind of a mixed bag with this axe, or this hatchet, tomahawk, whatever you want to call it. Guys, just so you know, I call everything an axe. Even if it's a hatchet, I call it an axe. So let's not get too caught up on nomenclature here. But it's got an edge on it. I can throw it, I can split with it, I can cut with it. I'm gonna call it an axe, okay? All right, guys, so to give you a little information on the Kings County Tools, they're out of Brooklyn, New York. I did some research on them. However, all of their axe heads are forged and made in Germany. This is high carbon steel, and it does have a decent edge on it, okay? I will say that a lot of the German heads are basically the same. Fucking mosquitoes. God, I hate mosquitoes, guys. Mosquitoes are everywhere. Do something about it, Dave. I will say that a lot of the German heads, they all kind of share the same pattern no matter where you get them from. I don't know if they're coming from the same forge or not, but they all seem to share the same resemblance, like a still head, and then another head that I got that was German, and then this one, they all almost look exactly the same. So, you know, they're either kind of staying within the same parameters or they're coming from the same forge. I'm not really sure. But this axe here is really cool looking. I do like the bit. It sticks out really far from the handle. It does have a decent edge on it, okay? And it does have a nice cutting profile, as you can see here. I like to come around to the camera to make sure you guys can see this profile. It is a little thick. It is a little thick up in here, okay? But really from here, where it probably would stop sticking at here, is pretty thin. And of course, guys, it's got a nice cutting edge. The edge is nice and even. As I can see here, it's nice and even. It goes all the way down. It's ground even. Down here at the bottom is a little off, okay, but it's not a huge deal. It's kind of the bottom, about this much right in here at the bottom. Show you guys, about this much has drifted this way just a hair, okay? You can see it, it's present. It's not bad though, okay? It does have a nail puller in here. And it does have a hammer pole in the back. It does not say that it is heat treated though. So if it doesn't say it's heat treated, I would say that it's probably not heat treated, but you do have a hammer pole on the back. Hickory handle, guys, straight hickory handle we got here, and it's pretty thin. I will say that it is pretty thin, guys. I mean, look at that. It's down there. So it actually might be a little too thin. I like my hand about right in here, but it's about right there. But it's not bad, I don't mind it. But if you got bigger hands and you have a problem with thinner handles, this handle might be a little too thin for you. So just keep that in mind. They did put some blue paint down here, which of course, guys, is coming off. I don't know why companies do that. I don't want paint on my handle. Just give us a regular handle. It'll save you some time, effort, QC work. Stop putting that blue paint on there. I'm telling you, most people, about 95% of people are gonna be okay with you just giving us a hickory handle without this blue paint on it, okay? So it did come with a faux leather sheath, okay? And I will tell you guys, it's about as good as a rubber bit cover. It really is. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll show it to you on camera, but it's broke. I mean, you know, the bit has come through right here. It's starting to pull away from this rivet. This thing is thinner than I don't know what, and we've already got some damage up in here from the bit. To be honest with you guys, this is about as good as a rubber bit cover. Yeah, they should probably, if I were them, I would go back to the drawing board on this. Like I said, this is about as good as a rubber bit cover. It's kind of worthless. It's probably good for transportation to you, and that's about it. So I would get rid of this and get something else. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get into real world specs. I did weigh this thing online. It says it's coming in at 2 pounds, and on my scale, I weighed it at 1 pound and 15.2 ounces. So basically, it's basically almost at 2 pounds, okay? Online, it says it has a 16-inch handle, and when I measure it here, it is at 15 3/4. 15 3/4 inch handle. The head length, okay, from the hammer pole to the bit is 8 inches, okay? And the bit length online says, I believe it said 4.5, and we have 4.5. You get a 4.5-inch bit with this. A lot of people online had a problem with how long the bit stuck out from the handle. I don't. Most people do because they say they get, you know, roll over when they're chopping with it. I don't seem to get that. Maybe some people just their technique's a little different than mine or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong and it just happens to be working out for me, but I don't really get a lot of rollover when I'm chopping with my throwing axes. But I could see where this one could do that because it sticks so far out. But I do like how far the head sticks out, and it does have a nice profile, the swoop up at the top, the swoop down at the bottom. And if you ever under rotate this axe when you throw it, it sticks out far enough to where under rotation will get you sticking in the target, which is kind of cool, and which is why I kind of saw this and was like, that might be a good throwing axe. I will say this about this axe and any manufacturer out there: if you label something a Tomahawk, you better be ready for somebody to throw it, and it better hold up, because you can't label something a Tomahawk if you can't throw it and it doesn't hold up, okay? Pros with just visually looking at this. Okay, here's what we got going on. Straight handle, hickory handle. It's thin, it's nice and thin. I do enjoy that. I do like that head being pushed out from that handle, okay? It does have a nice big 4.5-inch bit, which is nice. I do like the design of the head. Even though the head sticks out really far, I will say that the weight on this is really nice. You would think by looking at it that it would be really front heavy, but it's not. There's a bunch of weight in this area, which makes it manageable to throw, and it feels really good when you throw it. You guys are probably wondering how this thing is hafted on here, and from what I can see and from what I see online, it is a friction fit style seating, where they take it and they drive it down from the top into the axe, okay? So I've been throwing, it's not coming loose, and I haven't been able to break it down. Cons on this axe. Okay, so let's go over the cons. I will show you guys one thing that I noticed right off the bat when I took it out of the box. There's a crack in the handle up here, okay? There's a crack in it. It does not go on, actually, I lied. It's starting to go right here. You can see there's a crack right there. There's a crack that goes across. Let's see, yep, and it's come over here, okay? There is a crack in the handle already, which I'm not a big fan of because, guys, I'll be honest with you, as soon as I took it out of the box, I noticed that crack, and I feel like someone should have seen that. Is it gonna be a problem? Oh, I'm sure it will be later on. How long is that problem, or how long am I gonna be able to throw it before it becomes a major problem? I don't know. It could be 7 throws, 100 throws, 500 throws, who knows? But I don't like cracks in handles. They shouldn't come to you with a crack in the handle, okay? So that's a negative on this. No reason for that. Also, the forging of the hammer in the back is wonky. The bit's not wonky. The way it was put on here, it's in line. The bit's in line with the handle, but the hammer on the back is wonky. It is shaped. See if you guys can see this. I'll come around to this side of the camera so I can show you guys. If you guys can see this or not, but this is... All right, see how the hammer down here, it drifts to the left? The bit's straight, the handle's straight, but the hammer... Here, this would be better. See how it drifts? Okay, handle straight, bit straight. This is drifting this way, okay? It's not bad, but if you needed to hammer with this thing, that is a fix that you can do, okay? You literally, all you'd have to do is maybe just grind this side down just a little bit and kind of get it even. You're not gonna be able to fix the forging, but you can do modifications to it and grind this side down to where when you hold it like this, it's straight now. It's gonna be wonky. It's gonna be this way and then it's gonna come straight, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I will say that there is some head room up there in that handle, okay? You guys can see there's some space right here, okay? And you got a little bit of space in here. On the bottom, you got space all up in here. none right there, a hair right there, and we got a bunch right there. So basically from here, come on camera, you suck. Guys, I need a new camera, I'm really sorry. Okay, so from about here, all the way to about right here, you got space in the front, okay? You got space. Now, does that mean it's gonna come loose? I don't know, it depends on how they sat this handle. This thing was only about $45, okay? So it's not the end of the world if it doesn't perform the best. But I do want to give you guys an honest review, and that means more than just throwing it about 20 times and saying it's good. A lot of my reviews, guys, I don't just come outside and throw it a handful of times. I will throw these axes over and over and over, and I don't put all my throws in the videos because it would be forever long. But I do come out here, and there's times where I don't even film myself throwing. I'll just come out here and test the axe and just throw it and 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 see what happens. So, all right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna throw it. We're gonna go throw it, see how it performs, see what it does. Dave said he wants to see what happens. Nice mask, Dave. I just got it in and just wanted to give you an intro onto this and tell you that I got it, throw it for you for a little bit, and then I want to do some extensive testing with it and see how it performs. So let's go test this tempering here on the front and see how it holds up, if it's even tempered or not. I'm not even 100% sure. It doesn't say if it is or isn't. I would assume it probably is, but we'll find out and see how long that edge holds, see how this seatment holds, and see if this handle up here is gonna hold. I don't know if that crack being up there, if it's gonna hold or not, guys. I don't know. So we're gonna find out and see. If anything, if it holds up for me and one of you guys get it and the handle breaks, because it's a friction fit style, you'll be able to pretty much get your own handle and do your own thing with it, which is kind of cool, you know. In any event, guys, if I ever give you guys an axe that works for me but fails for you, as long as the head is good, I always try to make sure that the head is somewhat decent, okay? If it's a good head, I'm not too concerned about the seatment, because you guys can always go back and put a wood handle on it and haft it yourself, and you still have a decent axe head to work with. So that's one thing that I do look for whenever I go to buy axes, my personal axes for throwing or whatever. I'm more concerned with the quality of the head than I am the handle. I can always replace the handle. You can always replace the handle. Replacing handles isn't hard to do. You can do that on your own. But making sure that the head's gonna last you a lifetime, the handle probably isn't. I look at handles as temporary anyway. Just because I throw so much, all my handles I look at temporary. They are temporary handles, okay? So just keep that in mind. But let's go throw it and see how this thing performs, and I'll give you an update on another video on the extensive throwing that I do on it later and see how it holds up. But no more talking, let's go throw. All right, guys, let's get into this Kings County Tools Tomahawk hatchet, see how it throws, see what it does. Woo. Woo. I've thrown it once. Threw it once and got bullseye paint on it. That was my second throw. I will say that every time I go to throw it, instead of sticking in the target like this, it wants to kind of stick in the target like this. I don't know if it's the handle, what it could be. There we go. Just rotating out of my hand weird. I haven't painted them in a while, guys, but if you haven't noticed, I got 5 bullseyes up there, so I'm not just aiming for the middle one. There's 5 of them, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, 1 in the center. I just need to repaint them, but you may not be able to see them that well, but I can see them still pretty decent. There's no knob and there's no flare at the bottom to cause this thing to twist, but I think I know what the problem is. Let me show you guys something here. All right, so I'm gonna take this handle, I'm gonna run it across my hand, and I'm gonna show you why this is always a damn problem. Look at that. I'm not gripping it when it gets down here. I got your grip on it. That's why you guys shouldn't paint these ends and put polyurethane on handles, especially when you throw your axe, because this is gonna happen every time. Look at this, watch. Watch my fingers, I'm not grabbing at the end, watch. You can see the white of my hand. almost as bad as a flared knob. What it's doing is that when I'm throwing, that paint down there is holding onto my hand and kicking the axe to the left and to the right. And every time it's kicking to the right, which is why when it goes into the target, instead of going in the target like this, it's going in the target like this. It's like a flared knob. It's causing the head to rotate out of my hand because it's hanging up on my hand. And when I release, it's hanging up, and then instead of cleanly coming out, it's kicking like this. So if any of you out there are throwing axes, hatchets, throwing whatever you're throwing, and you notice that your axe is sticking weird and you have polyurethane on your handle or paint on your handle, it could be that. So pay attention, because this right here, it sticks every time and it's gonna make it come out of your hand weird. So pay attention to this. I mean, you guys could feel this right now. It's almost like getting a little dark outside, the dew's coming out, and you can literally feel it. It feels like glue. It feels like glue on your hand. So just pay attention to that. I'm gonna make a part 2 of throwing this thing. We're gonna do some double and triple rotations with this, really step back and throw it. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me and Dave. We'll get this paint mess off, do that cool thing back to the pole, refinish this, redo something, do it really cool with it, and then I'll bring it back to you. Until next time, guys, see ya.